Hello, Toreros. Oops, sorry. Near and far. It is the 27th of September, and it is a Monday here in Monrovia, California. And I hope all is well with you and yours. And so this is my weekly chin wag with you. If you say that. Some of my friends in England would say that, and so sometimes I like to appropriate English phrases. Anyway, I hope, like I say, I hope all is well with you. Everything is well, good here. And so, got a few things to talk about with you this week. Um, little card, index card, important things on it. So the first first order of business is week 3 assignment. Your PowerPoint presentations. Got to say, very impressed. Very impressed. Um, I thought your application of the criteria was just spot on. Um, it's not an easy exercise by any stretch of the imagination. Okay, it's hard when you've been introduced to these criteria. They haven't been really explained very well to mea culpa. Haven't really explained them all that well to you. So I thought you did a masterful job in really digging in and applying them and coming up with some very interesting scores, primarily because you all scored them pretty high, which isn't surprising, primarily because these are exemplary um, dissertations and lit reviews. So I did expect that you would have scored them pretty high, and you did. So that's good. And again, it was also, like I said, it's interesting for me to see what you're interested in. So I was fascinated by your choices. And the interesting thing here is that Karen Briggs, won out in the dissertation choice awards. Overwhelmingly, most of you chose Karen Briggs' dissertation for your review, and so I thought that was pretty interesting. Okay, moving on. Yes, the one thing about these kinds of exercises, and you were time limited. Okay, I said you can do it in 5-6 minutes. Well, okay, you didn't quite hit the mark in that regard. Um, some of you came really close, but you didn't quite hit it. And now, obviously, the important aspect of the week 3 exercise of applying the criteria and reading dissertations and the lit reviews, um, it's not as much about it's not about the timing necessarily. It's about the criterion, about, like I said, the reading the literature reviews and getting a good idea about how one is constructed, and then looking at the dissertation in detail, see what it actually entails, see what you're going to be expected to do at, eventually. So the timing wasn't for me, it wasn't that big an issue. But I'll tell you why I tried to constrain your time, trying to rein you in, is because when you're defending your dissertation, okay, when you're defending your dissertation, your committee is going to say you have only so much amount of time, okay, to make your presentation. And you're going to do basically the same thing. You're going to do a PowerPoint presentation, and you're going to present your proposal, and that's first three chapters of your dissertation, the background, the introduction, the lit review, and then your methodology. So they're going to constrain you in time, and if you go over that time, they're going to say, "You're done presenting," and then they get to sit back and fire questions at you, which is, if you're on a dissertation committee, that's kind of the fun thing to be able to do. So anyway, the point being that the reason why I can try to rein you in, constrain you. I wasn't trying to be mean. I was just trying to get you to realize that, down the road a piece, dissertation proposal defense, which is the next big presentation that's coming up, down the road a piece. You're going to be constrained. You're going to be given a time limit, and you're going to have to hit that mark. Okay, that's why I did that. Um, so anyway, but you know, if you have to weigh things out, what's more important? Is the timing more important than the content of the presentation? No, it is not. Um, but I wanted to, it's a procedural constraint. So anyway, that's neither here nor there. But you all did a great job with your presentations, with the quality, absolutely high quality presentations. You covered all the criteria. You were very in depth, very focused, very what's the word I'm looking for? Well, you just did a hell of a good job, and eventually I'll think of the word. So that being said, I was really, like I said, I was very, very impressed. Yeah, and okay, let's see what's next on the agenda. Oh, I was thinking as I was watching your presentations, I was thinking maybe you're thinking the same thing I was thinking, that hopefully one day, not too far down the road, your dissertation will be chosen as an exemplar for a course such as this. Who wouldn't mind reading, a Sergeant Beasley or a Bustamante or any one of you? So that would be that'd be a good thing to shoot for if down the road a piece. I'd like to see that, frankly. Let's see. Okay. And another thing too about this exercise. I'm not trying to belabor it, but the interesting thing is that I tried to, I could have just said, okay, read these dissertations, read the lit reviews, and you would have read them, and I'm sure you would have read them, paid attention to them, because that's the kind of people you are, certainly. But if you have an exercise when you look at a lit review, and you have to do something with it, you have to engage with it on a more intimate level by applying criteria, by evaluating it with a set of standards. It makes it much more relevant and much more salient, I think. So that was instead of beyond just introducing you to the criterion, saying this is how your part A is going to be evaluated. You might as well get used to it now. Blah blah blah. It really it instead of just reading, it's really critical reading. And so when you are reading through the piles of literature that V is helping you to find, it'll hopefully that you'll take this exercise and you'll apply it to the literature that you read, that you're going to be much more critical and analytical about the literature, so that so the literature that gets included is relevant to what it is that you're interested in studying. So that's there's a madness to the method, I guess. Okay, week 4. Oh boy, we're cruising through this pretty quick. Week 4 is the assignment is due on the 28th, which is, well, this is Monday, so it's going to be tomorrow. For some of you, it is your tomorrow. So it is due on Tuesday, here in California, due the 28th at 6 p.m. Pacific time. And some of you have already gotten yours in. And thank you very much for that. I will get to reading them forthwith, and I'm very excited about that. And the great thing is that week 5, which is, as I said, we're at week 5, is when we're going to have our one-on-one meetings. So if I had really thought, well, no, it'll work out. It'll work out. I mean, it's the same kind of deal we're going to be kind of time compressed a little bit, but I think we can fit, everyone. I'll be able to meet with everyone, this week. You give me, Wednesday, Thursday. I think I want you to have potential times to me on Thursday so that we can get things set up. And this is, we can meet. We'll meet Friday. We can meet Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday if we have to. And if it spills into week 6, that's fine too. Okay, I remember what we ran into with V and trying to get everyone set up with a meeting in a 1 week time period. Well, that it wasn't very feasible now, was it? No, it was not. So I do hope that we can, at least. I mean, I've met with some of you already, and we've talked through some of your the literature that you want to look at. But I still want to meet with everybody anyway. So as soon as you can, let me know when you have available times, and then I'll be able to work around that and set up probably an hour or so would be sufficient. If we can do it in less time, fine. But I think an hour, just keep an hour block open. Okay. And I know that with the time difference, it gets a little dicey, but we'll work it out. We'll figure it out. Okay. So it's so that you can see what's happening. So you turn in your outline of the literature, and then we will discuss your literature. Okay. So that's because then week 6 and week 7 are basically you're going through and you're searching for literature, getting the literature, and now you're starting to go through it, and you're starting to analyze it, see if it's relevant, going from sort of this broad kind of the funneling effect. Remember we talked a little bit about that? Okay. So that's, so then week 6, week 7, we're working pretty much on this. And this is where, okay, so the first 4 weeks, 5 weeks has been, more of the transition from your coursework into your solitary academic journey. And then, starting in week after week 5, after we've talked, we've discussed, we've gone over and over and over and hashed things out and made declarations and what have you. Then the kind of the journey begins, because then you're starting to work on it by yourself. Of course, I will certainly be here. I'm always available for meetings. I'm always available for emails and chat and what have you. So it's not like you're completely thrown to the wolves. Not like you're completely alone in the world. So you have support, but then you're on kind of working away at your own pace and looking at the literature, and that's why we are where we are now, in having an outline, so you kind of have a roadmap of where you want to go. And that's not to say that this what you turn in on Tuesday, this outline, is static, that this is it. This is all I'm going to do. No, literature reviews are ever evolving. Okay, so it's not like you're committed to this, like this. What you put down on paper is what you're committed to looking at, because you'll find other areas that you might want to add in that that not exemplified, but help you make your argument better and stronger. Because that's really what this is all about. You're putting forth an idea, and you're arguing for the premise of that, for its premise. Okay, you're supporting your arguments with the literature that you find and you synthesize and you write and so forth. Okay, All right, week 5, it's like I said, we're having meet and greets, you and me, and this is good. Oh, so I had a little email back and forth with V, and because I asked her, I think citation management software other than Zotero, and V said, and I quote, and this is free at the University of San Diego, EndNote and Mendeley. Okay, it's free free at USD, and it comes with a tutorial. And she said that they're really, really easy to use. So if you don't like Zotero, you have EndNote and Mendeley right here at USD. Perfect. Let's see, and I will send you the link. She sent me a link, and I'll send you the link. Let's see, meetings. Okay, blah 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 blah. I think one of you have a meeting working with her throughout the semester. She really is. She really is that good, and we hear just from the team that I am an owner and shareholder of. And you're thinking, Sheldon, how can you own a football club in England?